Welcome back to Drummer's Paradise. Today is a special day. We've got Brandon Green with us. Drum mechanics, man. This guy is amazing, great at what he does, and we're super excited to sit down with him today and get to know him and what drives his passion for groove and fitness. So that's super cool. Yeah. So let's jump to this video of him crushing it on the kit, and we'll be right back. Man, how good was that?
That was great, Brendan. Amazing chops, tight playing, super consistent. You know, I dig your vibe, I dig your flow, dig your feel. You know, really good playing.
Thank you so much, man. I just love playing and I love helping people, so it's a good combo.
No problem. So let's get to know you a little bit here. So how'd you get into drums? How old were you?
I was 13 years old when I really started. I found it. Mm-hmm. It was I was playing bass not bass. The big tuba, bass, oh my God, big, stupid instrument in music class, I can't remember anyway. But I remember my buddy Mike came and he brought a drum set into the class, and he was playing drums along to the classical music that we were trying to do. Oh, okay. And the first time I heard him, he'll play a bass drum note and the snare drum hit live, it was just like this feeling that pulled me in. Right. So I went home and asked my parents if I could play drums, and they said no.
Damn.
And then
too loud.
And then just shut that down real quick.
Real quick. Yeah. And then a couple years later, my mom remarried and my stepbrothers came in, and one played guitar and one played bass. And I said, this is a great time to pick up the drums. And so I was like, I was 14 years old when that was. And I got one of those silver track drum sets where I could start playing. And the first moment is I remember falling in love with it even more, was we played an AC/DC lick. And I remember just crashing and being in time, and it was like, that felt so good. And then ever since from there, it's just been this obsession of just really taking as far as I possibly can.
Cool. Nice. That is exciting. So did you take lessons after you got into drums?
Yeah, so I took some lessons at the Arts Music Store in Newmarket for a while. A guy named Corey, who was in the jazz, who really taught me about like some left foot timekeeping stuff, which was super. And hand stuff. He had some great Freddie Gruber stuff.
Oh, yeah, nice Freddie Gruber.
From there, I went on to Jeff Salem in Brampton.
Jeff is great.
Jeff is awesome. He's actually coming up to my gym in 2 weeks.
He's amazing.
He had bilateral knee replacement.
Yes, he did, absolutely, recently.
Yeah, so I stayed with Jeff for a while, and he really taught me like timing and thinking about the music and being more present. And then I'm a tech nerd of like breaking things down into the smallest pieces. So it was a lot of self-studying from there, like reverse engineering, the Dennis Chambers, Thomas Lang, Virgil Donati's, like not that I'm on their level, but like watching them play and go, what can I take from this and put into my own playing?
Man, that's super cool. And then from there you just excelled and you got into bands.
I got into bands. I did play some punk rock when I was younger, and then it was kind of emo time in my world. I was in a band called RSR, Red Scarf Routine.
Okay, there you go.
Not cool. But anyway, but it got me playing with music, and it was like playing with other people. And like there's just something about being in a basement or being off stage and smashing and just getting everyone to move. It just feels good.
It feels good, right? Yeah, absolutely. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. So, Brendan, came across your channel a little while ago, and I gotta say, it's absolutely brilliant and inspiring what you are doing for the drum community on all levels of drummers, from beginners to pros to intermediate, new coming drummers. You know, you brought this whole nutrition, healthy fitness lifestyle and training within the instrument of the percussion, the drum kit, which is like super valuable knowledge for anyone that follows you and checks out your platform. How did that all go about for you, that you came up and you brainstormed that idea and you wanted to bring knowledge to the table and to the drumming community with what you offer with your channel?
I wanted to be a pro drummer when I was a kid. Like I was committed when I was in my final grade, my grade 12. I had the space at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the beginning of the semester where I could take my whole morning and just practice drums. My mom would leave 7 a.m. and I would practice drums from 7 to about 10, and then I would go to school and do like a half day. Just because the way I organized it, it worked out really good. Spare is what the word I'm looking for.
Yes, okay, yeah.
I was going to go to Humber School, jazz, and I was going to do the jazz program, and a good family friend of mine, he was an accountant, pulled me aside, and he showed me some numbers, and he was like, listen, if you want to buy a house, these are 3 pro drummers that you know who they are, but I can't show you their names. But you can't afford to buy a house if you're making this much money. And it kind of freaked me out. So I paused on that idea, and I shifted gears to thinking about something that was a little bit more economical so I could move forward.
Makes sense, yeah.
Was going to do firefighting, had to do a fitness credit, did a fitness thing at a gym, and I fell in love with it.
Right.
That gym, I ended up specializing with people who were seniors, joint replacements, like all of the worst stuff. People who are like, I can't move and do the things I love to do. I started working with those people.
Amazing.
And without going too deep into that, there's so much in the health and fitness world of like, my shoulder hurts. You're supposed to do this stretch. My knee hurts. You're supposed to do this stretch. And 10 times, they'll say it's going to work every time. It doesn't work every time. Maybe 1 of the 10 times it works. Everyone has a unique anatomy and it needs to be individualized to them. So I started specializing in that. And from 18, I started working at this gym. I became the head trainer of that gym when I was 20 to a team of 25 people. And then my mentor who taught me all my stuff passed away. And I picked up the mantle of his teaching. And I was teaching for a biomechanics program called RTS across Canada when I was 23, 24. So I've been teaching for a really long time. Like I've been teaching for almost 15 years now.
Some
exercise science, a lot of talking in front of people, and I got a lot of confidence with presentations and stuff like that. So I had no initial ambitions of like connecting that to drumming. I just would do my work, and then I'd go home and I'd practice drums because I was just obsessed with practicing drums.
Still, yeah.
In high school, there was a guy, like I think maybe you guys were the guys, but in high school, I was a drummer, but I was not the drummer of the high school. There was a guy named Matt Dunn, he was a good friend of mine still, and he was like the guy, right? He's got like the spiky punk hair and these tattoos when he's 18 and all this stuff. I'm like, I want to be like him. Well, when I was in 2015, he put on Facebook, fuck the drums, pardon the swearing, you need to cut that out.
It's okay, we're good.
Said, bleep the drums, hurt my back, drums hurt my back, and I'm never playing drums again. And because I spent my entire career helping people get back to activities they love to do, I kind of had like a freak out moment. So you can find it. I did a video that I recorded on my MacBook Air through like the standard mic and camera. No one was in my gym in my mezzanine. And I put it on YouTube and it got like 100,000 views in a couple months. And it was just like drum throne mechanics and talking about anatomy. And it was super basic. And I realized that there was something kind of to this.
Yeah, there really is. Yeah.
Now, there are definitely people in the drum education landscape that do talk about like ergonomics, health, and fitness. But I hadn't seen anyone take the biomechanics approach that I had and individualize anatomy and really brought principles to people they could apply. Because that's the other pet peeve I have with education is that you can find a lot of people who are educators, but they just like soundboard at you.
Right.
Like they just say things to you and you're like, that's cool, but there's nothing pragmatic from it. Like you can't go and apply it.
Yeah, not taking anything.
So everything I try to do from the information I share, regardless if I'm accessing really deep neuroscience information and motor learning concepts, it doesn't matter what the pool of information is what can I tell you that you can go do right now that's gonna make a difference? Because if I tell you to go do a maximal voluntary isometric contraction, the full pronation, that end range position, and blah, 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 no one cares. But if I say, hey, take your hand back, do this, reverse stretching, instead of doing this, do this,
no problem.
Everyone kind of gets that. So I've just spent the last 10 years taking the information that I have and applying it to drumming. And I'll be quite honest, I have my own business, entrepreneur, if you will, with a great team, successful, I love it, pays my bills, my family, it's a lot of fun. I started a marketing company because during COVID, as you know, in Canada, couldn't work.
Shut down.
Also super successful. Took me to Europe teaching, like it was also really cool. This drum stuff is the most fun that I have though. Like I just love not even playing the drums, but doing this and like giving information to drummers that drummers can hopefully, I shouldn't say hopefully, if they apply the things I say, will actually be able to help them play forever. So I'm not just doing it as like a personal brand development of like, I want people to see me and I have this insecurity, I gotta do some more social media. It's actually like, it's a bigger thing of like, how much information can I put out there to all these drummers and anyone that'll listen and will use it so they can actually continue to play forever. Because that's what I care about is it pisses me off when someone is like talented like you guys are and playing in bands and doing the things that you want to do and you're like, my fucking hand, I can't, this hurts so bad, I can't play anymore. I haven't played, a guy just messaged me today, he's like, I haven't played drums in 2 years because I think I need knee replacements. And I'm like, well that sucks. Like the whole point of this whole art is to express art.
That's right.
And so I want people to keep doing that
That's
because
amazing.
it's magical.
Yeah, that's cool. You're a wealth of knowledge, and just as long as people are smart enough to be the sponge to take it in, and that's awesome. I'm glad that you're providing that to all of us.
I just hope. I mean, you know what? And whenever there's someone with a narrative, it's not always for everyone, right? Because if you're for everyone, you're ultimately for no one. But if I keep sharing this information, the right people who want to hear it will hear it, and
100%.
there's a ton out there. I keep putting it out there, so
That's great. So, what do you find is like the most common drum injury out there? What are people most coming to you for the most?
Is it a carpal tunnel?
In the wrist? Is it the knees? Because you've mentioned knees.
So I would say like repetitive strain, carpal tunnel things in the hands and the forearms is like that, and then thrown back stability issues.
Okay.
Like most of the pros that I talk to, it's less injuries. Like there's definitely some injuries, but it's this sitting on the throne thing of like, hey, I've got this huge gig and I got to play for 2 or 3 hours, and I don't feel comfortable sitting on my butt. Right. And every time I sit on this drum throne, it wobbles. Or every time I play the bass drum, my whole body does this thing. So I would say that's the drum throne and then the repetitive strain thing.
Right.
In most cases, like for drum injuries, I mean, if you think about just injuries in general, like, hey, I'm gonna go get myself an injury here. Well, how would you do it? Well, everyone would probably say, I'm gonna do something really heavy and stupid, like put my knee in a bad position, or I'm gonna do something over and over and over and over again. But if you do something, you're like, okay, well, I wanna try and get an injury as close as I can, but stay as far away as possible. What would you do? Well, you would probably, like a callus, rub your skin till the skin gets a little irritated, stop before you get a blister,
Let it heal.
then do it again, and then do it again. So for most drummers, when you have a repetitive strain injury, it is purely a dosing problem.
Right.
They did too much with not enough rest.
Makes sense.
And that is the bottom line.
Yeah.
And so, but the problem is that you go, okay, well maybe I did everything right. Maybe I dosed everything perfectly. And I rested perfectly, but let's say they're not sleeping, or they're not eating properly, or they're not getting, they don't have any, whatever it may be, the thing that they need to recover.
Nutrients.
So yes, they are resting enough, but they don't have the nutrients they need for that tissue to actually recover, so the quality of the tissue increases. It really is just a physics thing. Like it really is like, there's either too much or not enough.
Yeah.
And so that's the real thing, is like having conversations with people, because sometimes it's real simple mechanics.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you shouldn't just smash the snare drum and put your hand through the rim, because all that physics is going to go through your hand. And other times it's a little bit more like, well, sometimes I only sleep 5 hours a night, and the other nights I don't eat on Sundays, and then I hurt on Monday. It's like, okay, well, let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's get a routine going.
So repetitive strain hand stuff is super high up there, and then drum throne stuff for sure.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So do you recommend a backrest, or do you not recommend a backrest on a drum throne, since we're talking about the drum throne?
The backrest?
Yeah, like I'm just curious.
I've never used one.
I personally could never handle having a backrest on my drum throne.
Find me one drummer who is performing, who has a backrest that is using the backrest. The physics of it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like if you think, like, okay, if you put a back part on your car, the back part of the chair, this is here because there is force going into it that direction. There should not be that much physics going this way when you're straight back when you're drumming to need that. So from a performance perspective, it does. Mechanically, it does nothing. From a performance perspective, it can be a tactile reminder.
Yeah.
Like you're sitting there and someone keeps like doing this and you're like, okay, I gotta sit up tall. Sure. If you have long sound checks, totally different conversation.
Or a ballad. There's a ballad in the set.
Yeah. Like if you gotta sit, if you're just like sitting for like 5 minutes at a time, totally different. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally different conversation. But it's just like there's a lot more going up and down. There's a little bit going this way, but if you're leaning back that far, there's already a bigger problem, because if it wasn't there, you'd be on your back.
Yeah.
And how many drummers are just falling back? It's not a thing.
Nobody.
It's not a thing. And it's just like, I mean, if you think about, but if you think about, like, if you're standing and I come up to you and I'm going to shove you to try and knock you down, right? It's not like, I have to push pretty hard. Like, if you take someone who's like healthy, not even like in shape, but healthy, I got to push with like at least 50 or 60 pounds, if not more. You're not receiving that much from the front when you're drumming. Why do you need a thing back there?
Yeah, you don't.
It looks cool. Keep selling them, guys. Like, people will buy them. But it's not going to necessarily do anything from a performance perspective.
Sure.
There's not much physics going this way where you need something there the whole time.
My whole life, I've always played on just a small round throne. And I find that it tries to make you keep your posture, tries to keep your back straight. You know, you got to forcefully like stay in position, right?
I get this question asked all the time, and so first of all, I am just to be clear, I'm now endorsed by DW, so I'm going to talk about DW.
Congrats,
yeah,
man.
yeah. But before I was endorsed by DW. You can look at all my crap and you can see for sure. I've been recommending the DW 9000 flat round because it is a larger diameter, so there's more surface area. More importantly, compared to the 5000 or the other ones, is the upholstery is super, super, super firm. So when you take someone who is heavier, like you're a large, let's say you lean to the one side a little bit, if you got soft upholstery, it's going to tilt.
Oh yeah,
right?
you'll really move.
And so then all of a sudden you end up tilting even more to that one side, which means that all the weight through your feet is even actually more.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a firm throne, it can shift your center of mass so you're leaning to one side over the other. I don't recommend the only tractor throne that I've liked
Just for a seat.
so far, it's really cool. It's a Ludwig one. Go Ludwig.
The heirloom.
Is that what it's called, the heirloom?
Yeah, that's the color. Yeah, the blue,
Oh,
the
of
green,
course.
the olive.
The
yeah.
olive.
The only one that I've liked from a performance perspective that I've tried, and I haven't tried them all, is the Gibraltar oversized one. And it's just a tractor throne, but it's big to the point that you can actually sit and maintain your balance and you feel balanced on it. And it's pretty comfortable.
You can. I've used them.
But I'm with you, man. I mean, the $150 middle of the road, firm, Pearl Roadster, whatever all that stuff works perfectly fine. The thing is if you take the tractor throne, not that one, but any tractor throne, both of your butts are different shapes.
Yep.
My butt's a different shape. My wife's butt's a different shape. There are people with really wide butts and really small butts, and so that means that the curvature of their bottom is different than the concavedness of that.
Right.
Which for some people, that's going to be perfect for somebody. For other people, their flow's going over the sides, and that's not going to be good.
Doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good, right? And so the reality is, it's just now the puzzle piece doesn't match, which means this fancy $400 super curved, designed by engineers for everybody, is for no one.
Yeah, it's not really working.
It's not working. So yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, the flat, what lets your body do what it's going to do is usually the best way to go.
So that's what you use. Use the DW. It's the larger round one, right?
9,000.
And then you use the smaller
I
round
use the
one.
Pearl Roadster small one.
Right.
I mean, I'm due for a new seat, right?
So my
and
gigging
I'm in the
one-
market. I'm just trying to but I like the small, simple, round, double braced.
You sit pretty high, or are you sitting?
Pretty medium. I
Yeah,
used to sit really low, but now I've recently got
So
a
are
little higher.
your legs at a 90, or are you more like?
I'm more
on
like
a-
this. I'm flat.
So you're flat 90.
Yeah. So I have a level on my phone, and I put it on my thigh. My legs are around 75 degrees.
Yeah.
But my whole point is, whenever you sit on, is I want you to be able to lift your feet up and balance and not,
and
because
work
if
your
you,
ankles,
well, you should be able to hold yourself up like this, because if you're not, if you're a double bass player or you're just doing quick bass drum stuff, if you're at a place where you can't lift your feet up and you're falling forward, I've taken a measurement, I weigh 180 pounds right now. If I am in that place where I'm sitting on that beautiful, not to be named brand throne again, right? And you're falling forward, so I'm 180 pounds, each foot weighs about 35 pounds. When I'm sitting in the middle of my 9,000 and I'm sitting comfortably with my feet up, each foot weighs about 16 to 17 pounds.
Okay.
Which means when I'm striking the bass drum, I'm dealing with half the resistance.
Yeah. Okay.
Which if you ever get tired feet, because I hate that feeling, like my feet getting tired, I want to deal with the least amount of resistance
I
possible.
was just going to say, you just recently demonstrated an amazing exercise with just kick pattern on the positioning. Where I saw you do that, and it made complete sense, right? And especially over a long period of time, getting those muscles and getting everything in shape and working, you'll be able to have that consistency and just go without getting gassed, right? Without getting tired.
I mean, I'm literally focusing on trying to do double bass, like ostinato patterns for an hour to an hour and a half at a time. And the thing that drives me nuts, which I really love, is I love that meditative being in that flow state for that time. I hate getting tired.
Yeah.
And I don't want any drum, when I've talked to anyone who's touring, if you guys are busy players, the worst feeling is when you're in the middle of a sentence, the third song, and you get that gripping feeling here, or this is already burning, and you're the faster song's coming up, right? But the easiest way to get away from that is one, focus on your energy, but second, decrease resistance. Make the things that you're hitting workout guy, right? You want to last longer, make it a little lighter, you can do more reps, and it's the same kind of idea. Yeah.
So no, that's awesome, and that's why I think I gravitate so much, because of the fitness element of it too. I'm really into fitness as well, and yeah, it's neat to see fitness now being brought into drums. You're the first person to really bring it to the masses, I would say. So yeah, it's awesome, and I admire it. And I think everyone should check out his new program. And if we can get an ad on that up next here, and yeah, we should check some of that out.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So what else, T?
Awesome. So let's just touch base. I'm just curious, who are some of your drum influences growing up? Like who got you inspired to like really want to get good and play the drums?
You guys have got some legacy music. You got some legacy in your family with music, and then you're an old guy.
Yeah.
So I'm a little nervous about dropping. So
It's all good.
I definitely was like in the Blink-182 phase when I first. So Travis Barker was definitely like a first influence, and it was just his energy, man. I mean, the hi-hats were up here. He was doing all this crazy stuff, and then the stick twisting and all that stuff, which just blew my mind. The next jump was around the time when we got a computer, and the internet was becoming I could actually
popular thing,
watch videos on sort of YouTube and whatever mediums there were.
Yeah.
And so this is when I discovered NAMM, like in Anaheim, and there were all these drummers that were doing things. And so I was a big Pearl fan at the very beginning. Like I really was a huge Pearl fan before DW. DW's website sucked, so it was all about the Pearl stuff back then. And so I was following, so Mike Mangini was one of the first drummers I fell in love with. When he was doing all the extreme stuff, and he was doing all of his clinic stuff with the massive 7 rack toms, and I love that. That brought open-handed playing into my world. Like I practiced left-hand lead. I still use left-hand lead and a big fan of it for multiple reasons, that opened that up for me. Dennis Chambers, because I'd never seen someone with the left hand on the snare drum just do that fat back groove ghost notes. Like the way he could use the ghost notes to just like change the whole vibe. Like the kick drum was like boo, boo, ga, boo, nothing crazy, but then the ghost and then the ghost notes are just going, and then he would and do this crazy thing, and then come back and be all calm. That blew my mind. And then from there, quickly from Pearl, I found Virgil Donati, which really I think brought this math. Well, first of all, hearing the bass drums sound like that, like Mike Mangini did quick feet,
not backward,
but Virgil Donati did like the fast hertas and and it brought all these crazy like sextuplet herta vibes. And I was like, what is that? So that I have an exercise from when I was like 15 years old of his that I still practice now because it pulls me in. That brought me to Thomas Lang, and that brought the physicality of it because he was just like this Arnold Schwarzenegger, the druminator kind of thing.
Great, eh? Yeah.
You could ask Jay Liamanis. We would sit in the drum shop. We would put the VHS on, and we would watch his drum tapes all day, over and over again. And excellent player.
Yeah,
obviously.
I interviewed him for my podcast, and he's just such a good dude. Yeah. And the one thing is, we finished the podcast, and this was before the DW stuff, and we nerded out about drums for like 45 minutes. And he is just a drum nerd like the rest of us, which was so sick.
Yeah, nice to.
So from there, I was practicing a lot of technical exercises, like a lot of foot ostinatos, and I still love that stuff. Deep into that, and then I started discovering the Guitar Center drum off stuff. Okay. Yeah. And so that brought a lot of these really crazy chop guys, but the one that I really gravitated towards the most was JP Bouvet, which he's one of my really, really good friends. I talk to him weekly. Really? Yeah, he's a really good dude. Nice. I mean, super solid. But he brought all of the technical stuff that I liked from Virgil Donati and Thomas Lang, but they can be, with respect, like loving, their stuff can be it's very powerful, but it can also be very linear. Like it's very like, it fits in the box sometimes. Even though Virgil Donati's like playing 4/6, it's very mechanical. JP brought this mechanical stuff I found, but made it extremely musical in a way that it was like, okay, he's playing something unique, it feels good, it's insanely busy and choppy, but it doesn't sound like crap. Right. And that opened up my mind completely. Like it just changed everything for me. And there's a lot of others, of course.
There's so many, right? But those are your top. Yeah. Right,
but I would say like right now, like if I think about it, I'm trying to be a JP Bouvet, Thomas Lang mix because I love the physicality, never be at Thomas's level, but I love the musicality. Like how do you bridge that gap? And it just, I nerd out about it all the time.
Nice, that's sweet.
Yeah.
And you've been in bands before? A few of them, or?
Pardon me?
A few bands?
Yeah, I haven't played with anybody in a while, but I mean, when I was in high school and early college, like I had a metal band, I had a punk band that I was involved with early on, and then that emo band. Right. Honestly, now just because I'm so busy, I have been entrepreneuring for so long.
Now you're a businessman.
Yeah, there's a studio up in Keswick, like it's someone's basement. We've got all the gear though. Yeah. I go and record blues stuff for them and classic rock stuff, and it's just fun, but it keeps me going. Yeah. And honestly, right now, like I've got some metal stuff that I want to try and write, but I'm just trying to find the right guitar player and I can't tour, so I'm trying to find someone that wants to just do some closet writing.
Write it in a little jam room and then put it in the studio, right?
Yeah, get it out there and see what happens.
Oh, that's cool. So do you have any footage of you being in a band that you can share with us?
Dude, no, nothing.
There is nothing.
It's so old, man. It's so old. And I wasn't like in any good bands at that time. Right, like we did battle the bands and like tried to get up there. But again, like I was the B drummer at the time compared to my buddy Kyle, who was like in my scene, like the main guy.
Right,
I don't have any good band music stuff right now.
Which is fine, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just a nerd right now with the drum. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool.
So Brendan, just curious, are you a fan of collecting snare drums, vintage drums?
I have 25 snare drums.
25 snare
25,
drums.
that's it.
I got two on order,
Oh, wow, wicked.
actually.
Would you like to
Tile your
give
top
us-
ones. What do you have?
give us a little
I've
dig deep
my
into
wife's
your,
not going to watch this
to your
issue.
archive.
No, I
rentals.
mean, I'll be honest. The thing that I like investing into for just fun for myself is definitely drums. And I buy more drum kits. I don't have the space, so snare drums becomes the thing.
Yes.
And in the last few years, just as my business has become more successful, I've just kind of got the things that I want, and I've got only a small list of things that I don't have right now. So on order right now. So I don't know if you guys saw that. Have you seen my new DW kit that I have?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So I've got like a double bass. What is it called? The Royal Ebony finish with black candy fade.
Right,
Nice.
yes.
Yeah.
It's
It's
so
a
nice.
dream kit, really. So when I bought it, didn't make sense for me to buy the matching edge snare drum, which is like the DW snare drum with the metal rings.
Okay.
So I ordered the 8x14 edge snare drum that matches my kit, but it's Purple Heart. So that's going to be like,
Nice.
the edge drums are the brass rings on the top.
Brass rings on the top.
With the Purple Heart on the inside and then
Okay.
brass rings on the bottom.
What's the drum made out of?
It's going to be, it's actually Purple Heart.
Purple Heart.
So the shell is Purple Heart material
Wow.
with brass rings. So what it is, have you seen the edge drums?
No.
So what they are is that they're wood, and then the metal, before it touches the rim,
Yeah.
there's two huge brass rings.
Okay.
So that what happens is you get the quality and the tone of the wood, but you get the crack that comes with the brass. So it's a
Amazing.
really brass.
Cool.
Yeah. So I've got two of them. I got one from Jason, actually. He sold me one. It's amazing. But this is a 8x14, so it's going to be a monster with the double turret lugs, not the single, but like double layer.
Yeah.
But it's going to be the same Royal Ebony finish as my drum,
Okay.
so it'll match.
Nice.
I bought
Sexy.
it's not as exciting, but I bought a rolled bronze drum just because I wanted a bronze.
one.
I have a bit of hardware matching OCD, so I got black hardware, so I had to get all the black hardware stuff to go with my.
Okay.
I think the coolest drums I've got is I showed you guys before. I have a 1920 Slingerland cast
That's
aluminum
amazing.
drum. It is the first, from my understanding, the first drum that Slingerland ever put their name on. They had another name that was their banjo company. I think it was like Heinz Geisler or something like that. They made a drum and it had the banjo name on it. And then they changed it to Slingerland, and the drum, that's the original, the one. And so I've got that, which is cool.
Take a look at that picture. We're gonna flash it.
we're
Yeah, I'll send that
Flash
over for sure. I've got a Ron Donette drum that I super love.
great
So-
guy too, eh, Ron?
Yeah,
Makes
Ron Donette.
excellent drums.
So you know Greg Keplinger? Greg Keplinger made all the Soundgarden black iron drums, like like Matt Cameron and all these guys that played these huge, loud, open-sounding drums. Greg Keplinger made them. So he used to take like old sewer pipes and would clean them up and would make these crazy heavy metal shells. So Ron and Greg did a prototype drum. They were thinking about coming together and doing something and decided not to. So I have a drum where it's the same two material hardware. It is black iron, heavy steel in the middle, with titanium rings on the top, with hardware, like the hardware sandwich on top. So when I first saw it from Ron, I was like, I gotta get that. So I got that.
Cool.
I got a bunch of others, man.
I
It's
bet you
just-
do.
I just love it.
One
so-
day we're gonna come check them out.
Yeah, for sure, man. No, I would love for you guys.
Beat
to
on the
come.
street. We're gonna go see your snare drum collection.
Dude, I have to bring it all. It's a beast, but yeah, I love it so much. I love snare drums.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to collect and just go on the adventure because there's depending on what you're looking for, it's not that easy to find, you know?
You know, I sold 10 years ago. I sold a brass pearl free floating snare drum that was like the first nice snare drum I bought when I was a kid, and I immediately regretted it. And so I searched for a good quality one for a while. I just found it like a year ago, and I got a 6.5. But it was one of those things. Like I was like, it's an old pearl snare drum. How hard can it be? It took me like 2 years. So frustrated. Yeah, I had the dream drum kit that I wanted was I either wanted a DW exotic kit or I wanted a pearl MMX emerald fades with black hardware when I was a kid.
Okay, yeah.
And I bought one of those and I had it. And then during COVID, my gym got shut down and all my revenue sources went away.
Yeah.
So I had to sell it,
Yeah.
which was a bummer.
Yep.
And now I'm like, okay, well, I have the money. I want to try and buy it again. Cannot find
Can't
one.
find it?
I've been looking for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And I
Okay.
have not found one. Now I'm endorsed by
Jeez.
DW, which is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Probably won't buy a Pearl drum
No,
kit right
but you
now.
have a beautiful kid now.
It'll just sit in the storage space for now. But I love it, man. It's just it's fun to nerd out on drum stuff. For sure.
It is. It
100%
really, really
it
is.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I wish I knew you guys. I did not know you guys were big snare drum nerds. I would have brought
Oh,
some
yeah.
because they're just at my house. I
Hey,
could've
next
brought it.
time we have season 3, we'll have you back on.
We'll have
I'll
it
bring a
have it
bunch
back
of-
on. And
Yeah.
this one here, I got in Copenhagen, Denmark.
Yep.
It's a 71.
Oh,
Roland
nice.
Vistelite.
I love-
I tried to find one to go with my kit, and it took forever to find that drum.
Yeah.
And I found it off a diehard collector, and he sold drums out of Copenhagen,
Oh,
Denmark.
nice.
Do you have the matching kit for that?
Not the no.
Oh, okay.
It's got
I
a
love-
needle matching. What do you call it? What's the material called again?
The Vistelite?
The Vistalites. Yeah. He's got a needle kit.
I have a Natel. I play
Natel,
Natel
yeah.
drums.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you have an acrylic Natel?
Yeah.
Now, what color is that?
It's red.
Red.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Sounds great. I played it last week. Yeah, we played a show, same bill, and I got to try it out. It sounds good with those hydraulic skins on it, man.
Yeah, Evan
Sounds good.
hydraulic heads.
Oh, that's
Sound
amazing.
great.
My wife and I are buying a new house, and I've got a 12 by 12 bedroom in the basement. I'm going to turn it into soundproof and like start making it so I can record more content. Because right now I can't record very much drums. Like what you guys see, I record like 1 day a week.
Right.
Because that drum set and that studio is in my gym.
Okay.
And when I have clients in there, like we got busy days.
You're taking it down, right? Or is
Oh
it
no, I don't
space
tear it down. That's in
Okay.
my office. I got like
Okay.
this gratuitous 400 square foot office up there where I can do
Okay.
whatever I want.
Yeah.
But I can't play drums
Right.
because it's a steel box and the
Yeah.
whole 4,000 square foot gym will sound like drums. So I'm building a studio, but I'm gonna buy I'm gonna do a double bass acrylic kit by DW
Right.
with just the floor toms, and then I've already got rototoms, and I want to do a rototom kit.
Yeah,
So I'll have
nice.
8, 10, 12 rototoms,
Yeah.
14, 16 acrylic, and
That would be
It
fun.
was my first time trying an acrylic kit, and I've played wood my whole life, vintage Slingerland kit, I played so many wood kits, and then I got a Vistelite kit, and it sounds so good. There's just something about it. So if you do it by DW, because they make excellent stuff, you'll have a hard time going back to a wood kit.
so I had an acrylic one from Pearl. I had the Crystal Beat for some time.
Oh, okay.
And the acrylic, they sound crazy, man. They have a lot of attack. Like they
Yeah,
really,
if
really.
you,
Yeah,
if you
that's
like the
exactly
punch,
it.
right?
Yeah,
It's
the attack, exactly.
If you want dry or whatever, no, you can have some nice maple shell with like a coated ambassador or emperor head on it. But if you want that punch,
Yeah.
I like the acrylics.
Vistalites.
Man. If I get a kit again, I'm going to consider acrylic. even
If
though
you
I
get a
don't-
kit again, you don't have a kit right now.
I do.
We're doing the Drum Paradise podcast. You don't have a drum set.
I have a drum kit. I have a drum kit.
Okay.
Just don't tell my wife. No, I'm just joking.
Okay, okay.
I'm joking. I do. Well, right now, so I've collected Gretsch kits. I've had rare renowns, like one of 1,000 made in the world. But I've recently got out of that just for my condition at home with my kids and stuff like that. So I got a Roland VAD 509, 507 kit. And it's a really good kit. I really enjoy that thing. It's great practice. Hook a double bass pedal up to it if you want to get into double bass and stuff. Or single foot.
How do you find the
skate punk.
bass drum pad feels?
It's easier to do the skate punk galloping punk beat than it is on our skin because the skin absorbs the energy more and you get more of a rebound on the plastic. I find.
You get more bounce.
I find I get more bounce. I use a flat Tama beater head.
Okay.
And I find with that, I mean, they wear through pretty quick, but the rebound on it is a lot better than a skin. A skin, to me, even though you tighten it a little tighter, it absorbs the energy a little bit more than that pad that they have.
So I've got a TD17 I practice on every night.
Yeah,
and
which is the hard plastic.
Man, that bass drum beater, I absolutely hate it so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
trying to find a good alternative, but like all of them are like $500 to $1,000, which I'm fine to spend on if
Yeah,
it's going to
yeah.
be good. But I don't want to get something in my house and be like, oh, this is also
No.
because it feels like what I can play on bass drums.
Yeah.
Versus when I play on that kick pad, it feels like I'm playing in the mud.
It will be
like
different.
It's just like
it will be different.
it's pillows.
It
The
will,
me-
yeah,
the
it
me-
will
the
be
mesh
different.
In
head,
an unfun way.
right? The
Yeah.
mesh
That
head,
mesh hard.
that one, those have a lot more bounce. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
It
when
gives you a
feel
false
it.
sense too, because really, when you go back to a skin, you're not getting that same rebound. So your technique really needs to be
Well, you gotta have
honed
your
in
technique
order to get
on,
the
right?
same rebound,
Yeah.
right? Like,
But I practice all my ankle technique, like basically slow on that pad, because if
Yeah.
I go too fast, it forces me to change what I'm doing just to
Yes.
get sounds.
Yeah.
But then when I get to a regular kit, I'm like, why does it feel so hard?
right.
Anyway, all right, well, that's great, man.
Yeah.
So you do have a drum set, good.
I do have a drum kit. Yeah, and it's awesome.
He does
mixing
have a drum
tunes in
paradise,
it.
thank goodness. Because you're gonna have to find a new guy.
Right? This guy doesn't even play drums. What the hell? Yeah. No, I've had some nice kits. So. So, Brandon, what would you say are the 3 top exercises every drummer should do just to kind of keep in shape, and so they don't run into any issues in the future.
So I think there's two different ways to look at it. Is like, what are the top 3 exercises that someone that hates doing fitness should do? And then what are the top 3 exercises that someone should do that likes the gym?
That's a good point.
Because there are some drummers that no matter how much I say you should go to the gym and do X, Y, and Z, they will never, ever do it. So, I mean, there's a lot of family members like that too. So one I would say is if you're a drummer and you're like, well, what should I do to just work on playing the drums? I think every drummer, at least once a week for at least 5 minutes, should try to do the most intense things they can do with their hands and feet just one time. And even if it's just unison singles, trying to do unison singles at like 130, really keeping the 16th notes consistent and just trying to hit the drums and go for 5 minutes. It sounds surprisingly simple, but if you first of all just try and do single strokes for 5 minutes or single strokes for 5 minutes, and you just try and keep it consistent, any technique, it already is extremely difficult. So let's say you're that drummer and you are actually going to do that. I'd say play a rudiment with your hands and your feet. Let's say like hip dominance, bass drum strokes in your hands. Just move around the drum set for 5 minutes. Then do the exact same thing and then do heel down. So you're really focusing on like the heel down playing. Do single strokes and with your hands and keep going too, and you can do double strokes. It sounds simple, but it'll help to just work on the physicality because some drummers, like let's say you're 63 years old or something like that. You said?
Yeah, 52.
Right. So you're this strength level now. But let's say for whatever reason you become sedentary and you play in a really relaxed band, you don't work that hard. Well, your conditioning as you get older, with respect to whoever this is, will start to drop down to whatever level you access weekly. So even if you're in this relaxing band and you have a sedentary job and you hate fitness, but you do that 5 minutes of single strokes, not even double bass, but like bass drum note, hi-hat, all good. You just try and hit hard as you can for 5 minutes one time. It'll help to maintain everything, and that's huge. And also, doing any of the double bass footwork really gets a lot of gets your stomach involved in a way, even if you don't think about it actively. For most drummers, if you're going to go to the gym, first of all, being healthy in general, like there's just like a top 3 exercises, it's kind of dicey to do. But I would definitely say doing like some sort of calf exercise to make sure you're working on your ankle strength. Standing calf raises is fine. An abdominal exercise you can do is on your drum throne, is just sitting, lean back as far as you can and try and hold yourself there like even just lean back and you can feel the tension that picks up. Try and just hold that for a long period of time. Because it forces your posture. And then if you hook your toes underneath something, you can go back further.
Even further,
And it's a way better plank because it's like a plank, but it's in that seated position. So you get all that strength in that position. And then the other thing would be doing something with your hands. And it could be, I would say, like some sort of grip strength, like even just grabbing a stress ball from Walmart and just doing it for a minute and doing it for a minute. This crazy thing, I have not tried it, but I saw these guys doing rice bucket hand exercise. Have you seen this?
Stick your hands in the rice.
And you just do a motion in the ice bucket. Rice, you do like 30 seconds like this, 30 seconds like this, and 30 seconds like this. And these guys are like growing like an inch in their forearm in like 6 weeks. But it's because you just don't use these ranges.
That's true.
So something for your hands, something for your feet, and something for your core at a pretty high level. It basically is like, it's not the same as money, but if you think about like, okay, I have the earning capacity to make $1,000 a day, whatever, $10,000 a day, sure, let's pick a number. And then you just don't do that skill for a long time, right? It would be good for you to practice the skill of making that money. So in case you need to make a $10,000 a day, you can do it. It's the same idea. You might not need 100-pound calf raises or grip strength, but you should access it because as you get older, unlike investments, things get weaker, right? You can compound interest your money, keep it in the bank, and your $100 can be worth a lot one day, but your age, 30, it goes down. So from a drumming perspective, you want to try and stimulate everything. So either on the drum kit, drum fitness, if you will, fitness on the drums, and then fitness in the gym, is fun. But sleep and cardio, like I think all drummers should be doing heart rate stuff, like VO2 max. Cardiovascular disease is the number one thing that kills people these days. So you can get a healthier heart. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, healthy heart does.
But do more than 3, but.
Okay, but the top 3, right? Yeah, I see. And what other advice can you give drummers? What else do you think is important?
So I think the one surprising thing, depending on the audience listens, is you will hear every drummer advocate that you have to warm up before you play, which you should. You should prepare your body before you play because especially your feet, unlike you use your hands all day. We don't use our feet at high capacity. So if you're trying to do fast footwork for punk music or double bass, it's going to be hard to whip that out right off the bat. And even if you do, the second and third song will always be better than the first because you're just going to muscle through it. Most pros, including Travis Barker and all these other they will show you all these gratuitous stretches. I would tell everyone, I've spent 20 years trying to teach this, and I want to explain this. It is against my popularity to say what I'm about to say, but
Yeah.
I don't think any drummer should stretch their hands.
Okay.
No drummer should stretch their feet.
Everybody does this before a show.
Right.
Everybody.
Right. You guys have both some pretty nice
I
trucks
massage
outside.
that.
Right? How far does the car door open on your truck?
Yeah, but,
And how far does your car door open? Right? So if I look at it, I'm like, you know what? This door should go further. I don't like how far it goes. I'm going to push on it a few times, man. Just give me a minute. And I lean my 180 pounds further than it can go.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah. Maybe it's not making sense.
Right, but if you're at the auto shop and you see some guy, he's like, I'm going to fix your door, and he pushes it further than you can go, right? You get stressed out thinking about it because it's like, it's a dumb idea.
Yes.
The machine does not go further than it can go.
Don't push it.
Because there are joints there.
Yes.
There's material. There's even a hinge that comes out that stops it before you even hit the hinge, and then there's electrical wiring. Here's the truth. If your hand goes to here, no one without an image knows why this won't go any further. But my car door can't go any further.
Yeah, that's right.
So why would I
you
take
gonna
it
force
and
it?
try and push it further?
Yeah, yeah.
Because if I say that car door thing and I'm like, hey, here's your brand new Corvette, super excited. You had a Chevy, right? With Silverado?
Sierra GMC.
It was a GMC, right? So you're in that same ecosystem. It's a Corvette, not like a Charles. So I give you a Corvette. It's like super nice, right? And I push on that car door. You're going to freak out because it's a bad idea. If I take anything and I bend it in a way that it doesn't go, it's a bad idea. Yes. With anatomy, we completely ignore that. When I come back to here, my bone could be in the way, my cartilage could be in the way, my nerves could be in the way, my arteries could be in the way, my muscles could be in the way. And so when someone says, I feel tension right here, tension of what?
Right.
You don't know.
You don't know where it's causing
And
it.
you're just some dude who listened to another drum tech who told you it was a good idea because Travis Barker did it. And Travis Barker went to school for what?
Yeah, true enough, right?
Not this.
Yeah, definitely not that.
And so the real, not trying to have fun with, having some fun with it, I should say.
Yeah.
This does not go any further back for many, 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 many reasons. So why would you passively force it?
You're just asking for an injury right before showtime.
Yeah.
And you don't have to look far to find many women that are your age that used to do yoga and have, like you, no, but how many, I know many women, I don't know if you guys do, but many women that are in their 50s that have a tear in their labrum, a ligament in their tissue from doing yoga because they all did this stretch for frickin' ever doing pigeons and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with yoga. There's nothing wrong with exploring stretching at a light degree, but all the stretching has become a competition. Right? You go back to history of stretching, when it comes back to like monks and yoga landa and all that stuff, it was more about like motion and controlling positions and exploring mobility, but not athletically trying to go further than you've ever gone before.
Pushing your limits.
So the truth is that you have barriers that stop you from going further than you can here. But the simplest thing is that you should prepare your muscles, but you don't prepare your muscles by trying to go further than your car door can go.
Right.
So I've taught this thing, I did it on Drumeo, I've taught it on my channel a bunch of times, and it's super simple. If you have a stretch that you like to do, let's just say it's this one, right? I like how this feels, right? I've seen this, I think I should do this. Instead of doing this stretch, I call it reverse stretching. So you take your hand, you go to the other side, instead of this hand pushing my hand back further, this hand pushes back into my hand. And you guys can actually see, like if my hand only goes to here, and I push back into it, and I rest, I get more range of motion.
Yeah.
And that's because my muscles became what's called potentiated. The nervous system fires better. And since it's stronger now, it can physically pull me further than I could before. And you can do it all sorts of ways. Like if I'm sitting and I turn as far as I can go, and then I just flex my abs as hard as I can, I instantly get more motion. Because if you can deadlift 1,000 pounds on your best day, when you're sitting in the studio right now, you don't need to deadlift 1,000 pounds. No. So your nervous system down-regulates activity in your muscles, so you're not wasting all this energy because it's exhausting to be at that stimulated, potentiated level. You don't need all this, the food, substrates it's called. You don't need that. But you can get there. And so you get that from the appropriate stimulus, which is what I just demonstrated there.
Neat.
And so that alone is super important. You should not stretch. You should reverse stretch.
I like it.
And what's way more important like this is you guys have seen every cliche, some chick's trying to learn how to play golf, and some strapping man comes up and grabs her hands and does the golf swing for her, right? She didn't learn how to do the golf swing though. Some dude weirdly grabbed her and passively did it, right? But from a skill acquisition perspective, she didn't dial anything in. No. She just got pushed around. This is the same thing with this. So what's cool about this is if I actively do this, where my brain does this and I feel it here and I'm actively doing it within my boundaries, my body actually gets better at it, which means the range of motion I get how warmed up I get and how fast I warmed up I get all gets better exponentially every single time you do it because you're teaching yourself something.
That's right. You're training.
So in my opinion, and we could go way deeper into this, I teach full hours of this, is what's involved with passive stretching. It does not do what people think it does. Hold on, let me rephrase that. It could do what people think it does, but it's like working for minimum wage with a higher risk, right? It's like working for $6 an hour on a high-rise building without a life support, right? You could do it, and you could be fine, but the likelihood of you getting a cyst or damaging this or stressing this is huge, and there are close to 10 to 12 pro drummers that people know for sure that there's one in particular who was playing a 3-hour gig with one of the biggest stars right now. And he's like, my hands hurt. I'm like, what do you do? Because I do these stretches every day. And then after I stretch hurt, I'm like, okay, just try this. We did one call. And I said, just stop the stretches. You know what happened? The pain was gone.
That's perfect.
We didn't do another call because he just stopped
stretches.
doing all the things. And he was doing it because his boys, who were also other famous drummers, were doing it. So anyway, rant over, but the more important thing is that you need to prepare for the thing you're going to do because it'll make sure you don't get injured and it'll make sure you perform your best. But the way that we are colloquially taught to prepare is a bad idea. And truthfully, we don't even know, like, where did you get it from? My gym teacher 35 years ago told me to do it after I did the dead hang and I failed because I couldn't hang for more than 3 seconds and he said I was unhealthy and then I couldn't do push-ups. I mean, that's bad. That guy shouldn't be teaching it.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Anyway, so it's I can go on it a lot more, but the long story short, your muscles are very powerful. The more you learn how to use them to prepare for drumming, the better you can do it.
Yes. And for longer.
And way longer.
Yeah. So that's amazing.
Without risk, without the guardrail climbing situation I said.
Right.
Which I've never said before, but now we're here.
Put it in your pocket.
That's right. I'll come back to that. That's right.
Awesome. Cool, man.
Very nice.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we'll wrap it up. I just want to say thanks again for coming in to Drummers Paradise. Everybody, make sure you go get educated, study, and learn drum mechanics. Check out his social media. Check out his Instagram, YouTube channel, everything.
Everything. The links will be in the description below. Absolutely.
And it was, at the beginning, when I was stammering through an instrument I played, it was the baritone.
The baritone.
Baritone. I just couldn't organize my thoughts because there's a beautiful bass player next door and he was confusing me. So anyway, it was the baritone, not the bass, and that's where we're at. But yeah, no, guys, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, that's
honestly,
no problem, buddy.
Pleasure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I'm excited to see your snare drum collection for sure, too.
Thank you.
And I'm excited for you to actually get a drum kit because that's going to be great news for
I can't wait. It'll be DW. We'll rock it hard and it'll be nice.
Garrison, remember?
Here we go.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. This was a lot of fun. And you guys have a beautiful studio here.
Thank
I'm really
you.
excited to see the other episodes in this season.
All right. Well, we'll talk soon, man. Take care. See you guys. Peace.
Peace.